No, I didn't care for that at all, I didn't. I thought it was terribly unfair, especially to Mr. Scrooge. He didn't come off good in that at all. You know, it's not his fault that I'm poor, is it? I got 19 kids. Got 19 kids in a liberal arts degree. What you expect, eh? Slave away all day at a menial job, you come home to 19 kids and a fat wife. Now, why is my wife so fat, by the way? We got 19 kids and no money. What's she been eating? Tell you, the rows I have with her, they never stop. Why do we have so many kids to begin with? We can't afford that many. Don't need them. Can barely afford to feed ourselves. Yet you're a bleeding heifer. What's that about, eh? And she don't let up. Well, you've always known I've wanted a large, loving family, she'll say. Hey, large, loving family. You got a bleeding caravan in here. We ain't even Catholic. At this rate, we might as well become Mormon. At least that way I get a few extra wives come round, help out, right? 19 kids. And a lot of people, they come up to me and they say, well, why don't you just use birth control? Like they got some clever idea. Well, I got news for you. I do. I try. Always telling the wife things like no and stop and please, you're hurting me now, but she don't care. She just takes what she wants. It's terrifying. It's like going to bed with a pachyderm. You don't know what's coming. You just hope you wake up when it's over. Start to feel I'm getting violated in this marriage. Every time I see the sun start to go down, my knees tremble with fear because I know what she's going to want within the hour. And she don't ask. She just comes over and she takes it. It's torture. And one of 19 kids, disabled. Tiny Tim, you know about him? That's all we need. Make matters worse, I don't even know if he's mine. I don't. He's called Tiny Tim, isn't he? Not Tiny Bob. Got 19 kids, not one of them's named after me. Tiny Tim, Tiny Tom, Tiny Joe, Tiny Jerome. Not a Tiny Bob, not one of them. Of course, Tiny Tim's got a limp and a crutch. He's also got red hair and freckles. Didn't get that from me. Don't ask me no more questions about that. And it really ain't fair. It's not. That's what's so frustrating. Because, we live in Victorian England, right? One of the great domestic tragedies of our time is how many families is losing their children, right? That's why they have so many, because they're going to lose half of them straight from birth. We ain't lost one. We ain't lost one, no matter how many times I pray for it or leave the front door open. They all seem to have the constitution of an iron horse. It's ridiculous. Every night before I go to bed with the missus, I sit down and I pray for two things. One, this will be the last time. And two, that somebody comes down with scarlet fever, typhoid, malaria, whooping cough, strong case of the hiccups. I don't care. Anything to thin the herd around here. If I had a few extra bob, you know what I'd do? I wouldn't spend it on food. No, I'd hire a bunch of invalids to come round and breathe on everybody for an hour or so until something takes. It's awful. I wish you knew. But I ain't laid at the feet of Mr. Scrooge. That ain't his doing. That's what's so odd. The honest truth is, it's mine. It's my fault. I just made a bunch of bad decisions when I was younger. I never had no guidance back then, like a lot of young men. What I should have done was study something more lucrative at school, like marketing, instead of poetry, which is what I did do. Like a lot of people my age, I thought that writing limericks was going to be my path to fame and fortune. Well, it ain't. It just ain't. So if there's anybody out there who's got the same idea, just put it out of your head right now. Do yourself a favor. It ain't worth it. Next thing you know, you come home to a fat wife, 19 kids, and an AABBA rhyme scheme. There ain't no way to have a happy Christmas. Take it from me. You know, if I had to do it all over, you know what I'd do? You know what I'd do? First of all, I'd marry an anorexic. That's for starters, at least a bulimic, you know. Leave a crumb or two for somebody else, right? Then I think I'd snip something off, either off me or off her. That'd be the end of the 19 kids. And then, instead of focusing so much on the limericks, I think I'd try to develop my skill with the IQ a bit, you know. That's a bit more compact. You could fit that into a fortune cookie, I bet. Give you a little bit more distribution, a bit more exposure, right? And because every time I write a limerick, every time I write one, I always start out with, there once was a man from, and I take it from there. And I just think it limits military output, you know? Puts a clamp on it. Of course, I'm working on one right now. I feel really good about it. I do. I think it's going to be great. I just have to come up with a good rhyme to describe the things they do up in Ipswich.
I don't really care for the past. I don't like dwelling in it, is what I mean. And I don't think it's proper to force others to do so, to make them relive their past mistakes they can't do anything about anymore. Don't you agree? I think we should just let bygones be bygones and let them get on with it. So as you can imagine, I didn't volunteer for this job. It was supposed to be a temporary assignment, but we know how those turn out, don't we? I'm going on 2 years now, 2 years. And when they gave it to me, they said that it was supposed to be done in rotation, that others were supposed to take their turn. Well, this rotation has a mighty rusty axle. No one else has stepped forward. Can't say I blame them. For one thing, there's way too much work in being the ghost of Christmas past. Way too much work for just one person to do. I mean, there's so much more of the past than there is of anything else, isn't there? I spend so much time in the past, I have lost all contact with the present. I haven't any life of mine. Did you know that Nelson Mandela had died? I didn't. I didn't learn that until yesterday afternoon. And that was very awkward and embarrassing, I tell you. Not looking forward to the next time that happens. But that's the way it is. All of your social engagements dry up. I'm reading the obituaries now just to find out who's doing what. And it's really a very difficult department to work in. Have you met my colleagues? Have you met their ghost of Christmas present? What a personality is that? It's very difficult to crawl out from under very easily, isn't it? It's like being smothered to death by slow-drying cement. Ebenezer! Happy Christmas! I don't understand how a person can behave in that manner day after day and not go home with a drinking problem. I imagine it's like being a Siamese twin to Brian Blessed. I mean, I don't want to gossip. I don't want to slag the man off. I mean, I'm sure he's a very decent chap. In fact, I know he is. He's a very, very friendly person, in doses. He's a far sight better than that goth kid, the ghost of Christmas yet to come, who always wears the hoodie, never says anything, major chip on his shoulder. I don't like to see that in young people. I don't. There's a long, hard road ahead when they make that choice. I make an effort. Every day I say, good morning, how do you do? I ask about his vet in silence. Nothing. I get nothing back. It's very hard when they become bitter at that age. There's no turning back after that. And then, of course, is what they make me wear. Look at me. Look at this. I don't like the uniform at all. This long, shimmering, glittering robe. It's an evening dress is what it is. It's a ball gown, let's be honest. And it's far too long to me. It's trailing off past these slippers of mine. Slippers made of felt, by the way, and there's no traction. Slip and slide up and down the cobblestones all night long when I'm at work. Danger of twisting my ankle and breaking my neck. And then look, on top of my head, they make me wear a floating open flame. I ask you, an open flame floating on the top of my head. Look at me. I am dressed just like the rumours that I have spent my entire life trying to quell. You look at somebody dressed like this, you'd never guess that I was in the Navy, would you? And yet, thanks to people like me, we still have the Falklands. Of course, I only joined the Navy to appease my father, and of course that didn't work. And you know, that is what my greatest nightmare is. That's my greatest fear, is that I'll show up for work one day in the past and I'll see him there, my father, with all of his smug, crude, rude pub friends. Ho-ho! Charter members of the BNP. That'll go over swimmingly, won't it? I'll need my own holiday after that. Now, the truth is, I just need to find something else. But, you know, I've been telling myself that for so long, it's lost all meaning. I mean, I have a profile on LinkedIn, but that doesn't really do anything for anyone, does it? Does it? And I use it so inconsistently anyway. I'll be on it for a fortnight incessantly and then nothing again for the next 6 months. I mean, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. We don't even observe Christmas. I don't know what I'm doing here, apart from the money. And that's not supposed to bring fulfillment, is it? At least that's the message that we keep communicating to people, one knock on the door at a time. You know what happens? We got off on the wrong foot. We got by ignoring him accidentally. You know, we didn't do it on purpose. But his initial comment to us about his business partner, Mr. Marley, having died, we just sort of let that pass. And let that pass without comment. We didn't really register it. I think we were thrown off by it. I never had anybody tell me something like that over a handshake. I remember that encounter specifically because it was so odd. And maybe I was laying it on a bit thick, but I said, have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? And I thought it was a bit polished. He said, Mr. Marley's dead. And also come back to that, right? So Mr. Marley died 7 years ago this very night. It's a hell of a thing to blurt out to somebody when you first meet them, isn't it? He died 7 years ago this very night. There's a lot of psychological baggage wrapped up into constructing a sentence that way. And I think we were confused. Man walks into the middle of the room, takes a dump at the top of your conversation. Didn't know what to do with it. So wound up stepping in it, right? We dove straight to the hard sell, you know. We should have said, I'm sorry. I mean, that's what we should have said. It seems so obvious now in retrospect. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Our condolences. What an inopportune time for us to drop by. We won't keep you. Honestly, if we just acknowledged his feelings, we might have come out of there with something. Instead of nothing. It's embarrassing. Came off like rank amateurs. I've been at this too long to be making mistakes like that. Honestly. And listen, I'm not making excuses, but I do know that we were tired. That I also remember. I mean, we'd been on our feet the whole day since about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And we were behind for the month too, which I suppose you could say is also our fault. You know, we had the whole of the previous 23 days to meet quota. We hadn't done it yet. And on top of that, I was training a new partner. That's who the other fellow was. Training and I'll just say it. I think he held me back. It's true. It's a mixed bag working with a partner. It is. You know, on the one hand, they can take some of the weight off. You know, they keep you fresh, keep you in it. You can stay in it a bit longer, right? On the other hand, though, there is always the danger that they are going to say something you don't want them to say, and they will do it at the worst possible moment. You know, you'll have the person right where you want them. You know, they're ready to dig deep. They're ready to sign on that line, and suddenly your partner blurts out something about the drywall. Right? Rising damp, crumbling foundation, some rash on their face. You know? And the person will say, oh, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't give so much. I'll hold some back. Get that looked at. Walk out of there with nothing. Blows the whole deal out of the water. That's what happened. That's what happened. And no, listen, I'm not laying it all at his feet. I'm not. That wouldn't be right. There is a chance that I'm getting a bit burnt out on the whole charity business. I won't deny that. It's very possible. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm really good at it. You ask around about me, people know my name. I have a reputation for being able to get something out of the most notorious skinflints. Because I have an easy way about me. I have a bit of a charm about me. I think I can draw people in most of the time. Apart from my inability to acknowledge when someone's died. God. And I enjoy it. For the most part, I enjoy the charity industry. I enjoy giving back. I enjoy making other people give back. But maybe I've hit a wall. I don't know. I only pull down about 3% of all the donations that I raise here. I could do better than that working for the Red Cross. You do almost as well just ringing a bell. Problem with the Red Cross is their benefits package is rubbish. It's right. It's an absolute joke. I know people who work for them. They don't say nice things. You practically have to be one of their flood victims in order to see a dentist. Plus, if I go someplace else, I'd have to start all over again. At least here I have seniority. I broke the cardinal rules. That's what keeps coming back to me. That's what keeps haunting me. Every night when I revisit this whole encounter. Listen to what the person is actually saying to you. Listen to what you're actually being told, not what you want to hear. That's key. You have to allow some space for reality to go into that room with you, just a little bit. If you do that, you should be successful. There's no reason you shouldn't close every single deal. And I lost sight of it. Listen to what is being told to you. Don't put things off to the last minute. And know when you've done all you can for the moment. Live to fight another day. Don't pull the fruitless plant up by its roots. You come back the same time next week, you see it loaded over with cherries. That's what you have to keep in mind. I'm going to put those precepts, I think, in the training manual for next year. It's a good idea. I was actually going to have my partner do it, but he just died. Yeah. Thank you. Good. You see how easy it is. My God, you don't even have to think about it. Yes. He just died rather suddenly. Rather much of a surprise, in fact. What happened? He had this rash on his face. I think that might have had something to do with it. I never said anything, but I think he might have let that go a bit too long.
No, I never lived that though. Always regret my part in this whole story. Terrible thing, man. Terrible thing. They changed that, man. And not for the better, like what they say. But you got to look what they be after. Poor Ebenezer. Poor man. Nobody know him better than I do. I go way back. Do you know that story? Way back to Jamaica. Him and me. Back to Trenchtown. He was visiting there on holiday. I was there, cooking cornmeal porridge, of which I shared with him. He took one bite, you know what he said? He said, "This is the best porridge I ever had." That's where the friendship began. He said we could market this. Market it. Marley's cornmeal porridge. Sell it worldwide. And that's what we did. That's what we did. Most popular brand in the world. Never seen so much money. But it was never about the money, not with him, not ever. All the profits after taxes went straight back to the people of Jamaica and the third world, helping them build the bridges, helping them build the roads, the irrigation system. Now all that is gone. That's over. That's over because of this, because of those three demons. You call them three spirits, I call them three demons, three devils from the mouth of hell. I thought it was going to be some sort of Christmas Eve prank, just a bit of fun. Ruined that man, ruined the world around him. So much good that's lost now. And they say it's better. They say now he is a philanthropist because he gives his money away. He was giving money away before, just not to them. Not to them what got their hands out now. You know, philanthropists, man, they don't give the money away. You got to look closely. Do you know what they give away? Do you know what they give away? The philanthropists, they give away the name. That's what they give away. Look around. Look around. Now you got Scrooge International Airport, Scrooge Public Library, Scrooge Broadway Theatre, Scrooge Symphony Hall, Scrooge Hospital. Didn't see that before. Those things still got done, but you didn't have to see that before. Didn't have to look at that. Now you say you're going to fight disease all over the world. Disease has been around for thousands of years. I promise you one thing, what they'll do. They put the Scrooge name on every single last pill, man. That's what they're going to do. Try to swallow that. Try to swallow that without choking on it. I dare you. And what do the people have now? Huh? What have they got? They got nothing. They got nothing. Not even the cornmeal porridge no more. That's gone. It's all over. Sad story. Very sad. Regret my part. Never lived that down. Merry Christmas.